Guys, welcome to this month's story deconstruction. As you can see, we're doing The Dark Knight. So I'm going to go through the 10 universal plot points here for the story. I actually decided to do two of them for this movie. Um, I still remember when this came out. This movie was a big deal, and it was because it was so well put together. And some of the elements of that, of course, are filming elements that we don't deal with in our stories, but even saying that, the stories were put together very, very well. So I'll just get started and start reading through what I have here, and then we'll talk about it a little bit. So the first set that I have are the 10 universal plot points for Bruce Wayne or Batman. So, world before, of course, is the baseline for where the character is at before the inciting incident happens. So, this is kind of an interesting one to do as well because it's the second installment of a trilogy. So we're really not starting from zero here. We're starting, in the second installment. At this point, Gotham's crime rate is falling thanks to Batman, Lieutenant Gordon, and rising star DA Harvey Dent. Bruce privately hopes that Dent will let him retire to a life with Rachel. That's kind of his goal. For the intro of conflict, a clown masked gang robs Gotham National Bank for an unknown mastermind, which ends up being the Joker, who soon vows to kill until Batman unmasks. So you can see that this is the intro of conflict because it hasn't really changed Batman's world. At this point, he's probably just thinking this is the next criminal he's going to have to take down, but not much has happened yet. But then the Joker murders the judge and police commissioner and crashes the fundraiser for Dent, and Gotham's Freak declares open war, forcing Batman back into nonstop action. So that's the call to adventure. Early story escalation. Joker's killings, dirty cops, and copycat Batman keep Bruce reacting. Interrogations, Hong Kong extraction of Lau, armored car ambush. He's barely staying ahead of the chaos. So obviously there's more than one escalation here. This was a very high action movie, but that's okay. There's often more than one early story escalation. You get the idea. The turning point. Bruce decides to sacrifice his identity to stop the slaughter. He heads to the press conference, ready to reveal he is Batman until Dent claims the cowl instead. So why is that the turning point? Because he's not trying to be just Batman and do things as he's always done. He's actually going to turn himself in, and that changes things. Of course, the late story escalation, you always kind of have to look for the tragedy, the part when the characters, the protagonists are really beaten down. So here it would be the death of Rachel, and Dent's there, but he doesn't die. He gets blown up a little bit, um, and everything just kind of goes wrong. The climactic moment is obviously the construction site showdown. Batman defeats Joker and stops the ferry detonations, proving Gotham's civilians can choose decency. Uber despair. Rachel is dead and Dent has become a killer. Joker won by corrupting Gotham's White Knight, and Bruce feels ultimate failure. The aha is when he realizes he can still give Gotham hope by taking the blame for Dent's murders. The symbol can endure even as he is hunted. And the resolution is that Batman flees as an outlaw and Gordon smashes the bat signal and names him the Dark Knight. So you can see that all of them are here, right? All of the 10 plot points. And they just did a really good job putting this together. Now, the second set that I did is actually for Harvey Dent. And the reason that I wanted to do this is because I want to show you guys that you can use these 10 plot points to plot every part of your story. And I know it makes the story feel really complex when I talk about it that way, but it doesn't have to be. If you have a regular plot and a subplot, you can use the 10 plot points for each. If a lot of times if I'm plotting a fantasy world and I know that something about the world is going to change in a big way, like think about Hunger Games, it starts with one system and by the end they've completely revolutionized the system and the government, something like that. I will plan the 10 plot points for the world and the change that the world goes through as though the world is its own character. So I just wanted to show you that even if we took a different aspect of this and talked about Harvey Dent, for his particular story and his particular character, the 10 plot points are all there. So you can certainly plot them together if there's not too much of a differentiation between characters and they're all pretty much on the same exact journey, then they would probably have all the same exact plot points. But if you want to really make them complex and show that they're going through their own thing as the story proceeds, then give them all their own plot points. And they're still going to coincide in some cases. The big events of the story, chances are all the characters will be feeling that and be part of it, and the subplot and the plot are definitely going to be interweaving at various points, and that's totally fine. But the point is, you can really up-level your story by making the characters more complex and giving them their own set of plot points. So here it is for Harvey Dent. World before, Harvey, Gotham's charismatic DA, wins case after case with Rachel by his side and public adoration at his back. Intro of conflict, Dent prosecutes mob financiers, learns the Joker has stolen their money, and hears the clown's threat, but life continues unchanged. The call to adventure, after Batman captures Lau, Dent flips 500 criminals in one day, and the underworld declares him target number one. Earliest story escalation. Joker's assassinations force Dent into hiding. At the fundraiser, he becomes a protected damsel. That's kind of a funny way to put it, reacting to escalating threats. Turning point, Dent claims to be Batman at the press conference, his first provocative sacrificial move to stop Joker's killings. Notice that the turning point for Bruce Wayne and Dent is the same, okay? So that's the first place they're really coinciding. Late story escalation. He's kidnapped, doused in gasoline, and helpless while Rachel dies in the twin blast. Harvey awakens horribly scarred and emotionally devastated. Interestingly, and I'll talk about this a little bit more in one of the other videos for this month, but this is also the same for Harvey and Bruce Wayne. I mean, it's just the event of, that is Rachel's death is the same for both of them. They react differently. Obviously, Batman isn't hurt, but Harvey is horribly scarred, so they experience it a little bit differently, but the event is the same. Okay, so really just kind of interesting. Climactic moment, reborn as Two-Face, Dent kidnaps Gordon's family, putting a gun to the commissioner's son and flipping his coin to judge them. Uber despair, Dent realizes the coin that once symbolizes hope now justifies murder. Everything good, Rachel, justice, his own face is gone. Aha, twisted epiphany, chance is the only fairness left. He decides every life will hinge on a coin toss. And the resolution is that Batman tackles Dent, Dent dies, but Bruce and Gordon hide his crimes to preserve Gotham's faith in its White Knight. So I just, again, wanted to show you that when you're doing this, if you're doing subplots and things, we often hear and we often talk about in our industry that the villain needs to feel like they are the hero of their own story. And so I definitely do recommend that you do this for the villain too. No matter how much of the villain is going to be on the page, you should know what this is for the villain. So I didn't do one of these for Joker. Maybe I should have. But Dent is he's interesting because he's a good guy at first and then he turns villain. But I could also do this for the Joker. And I could also do this for I don't know, Gotham at large. You could probably figure this out for Rachel on a really, minor scale. Her arc certainly isn't showcased a whole lot, not like the two main guys are. But you see what I mean? You can use this for everything. And if you want to make absolutely certain that your story feels dynamic and every single character is being served as deeply as you can serve them, then I would recommend doing multiple sets of plot points for whatever parts of your story need it. And, that said, there's probably going to be some stories where you really do only need one because it's a simpler story, and that is perfectly okay. But if you're like me and you like to way overcomplicate your story and write multiple characters and multiple arcs, because that's just the way that I write my stories, keep in mind that you don't want to do a really intricate, 10 plot points, really good job on one character, and then completely leave all the others to be flat and uninteresting. Of course, you want to make sure that you're really fleshing out your story as much as possible. Okay, so those are the 10 plot points in terms of the plot, right? In terms of the external. So in the next video, I'm going to look at the internal.